Alright guys and girls, this is Shardy back for a more detailed update on basically, as you've seen in the last update, some nitrate slash phosphate problems. And I'm going to say nitrate slash phosphate because, you know, I wasn't 100% on exactly which ones were causing the problem. It could have been both, could have been one, could have been the other. So I had to attack it from, you know, lots of different angles. I've basically got a bigger phosphate reactor. And I installed some biopellets. Now I'm pretty sure the biopellets didn't actually assist in the lowering of the nitrates again, because you know they lowered back down before I'd even really got that going. So I've kind of got those as a backup at the moment, but I'm pretty sure the extra phosphate media in the larger phosphate reactor has definitely contributed to solving this problem. And let me just say that, you know, tank is doing so much better, and it's so it's amazing how depressed you can get when your tank's covered with that brown algae, and now it's just doing like brilliant. I mean, here's a little look at the sand bed, which is okay. I've always got this little brown bits and bobs on it. I've always had that, but compared to what it was, it's just looking great. I've got some green algae up at the top, which you know I might have to manually remove, but so much happier with it. These are the biopellets that are just basically kind of running as a backup system. I've got the flow rate nice on these now. They're probably not actually doing much because there's no nitrates to feed the bacteria running in them, but nevertheless they are there as a backup should we have any other deaths or spikes. These biopellets should kick in and help deal with nitrates. Put this little flow reactor on that I'm pointing to here, which is actually a bit of a bodge off a chiller. But it works nicely to get the flow right in that reactor for the biopellets. One thing I have done, which I'm really happy about, the past I'd say about 10 days now, been dosing calcium, because my calcium levels, there's alkalinity on the left there and calcium on the right. My calcium levels got down to 250 at one point, which is not good. So I've got these big, huge 10-litre tubs. It's got about 40 teaspoons of this calcium buffer that I'm using in there. I've not had to actually dose alkalinity because that's staying stable at 8 dkh. There's the dosing pumps hidden behind that massive wires that are dosing it. But I'm keeping it around 4 to 430, which I'm really happy with. Just having a look at the Profilux here. Parameters are okay. I mean, my pH is a bit low considering doing some pH dosing possibly. Temperature's a little bit high, but we are going through a really warm spell here in the UK. But you know, corals are not seen to be affected. You know, 95% of my corals are doing great. I'll show you, you know, some of the mishaps later. This is the refugium, which is great. There's basically chaetomorpha in there, and another type of algae, which I'm not really, it's like a kelpie kind of stuff, I'm not quite sure what it is. It came naturally off the live rock, but it's like a jungle in there. So that's definitely helping with phosphates and nitrates, because it's grown so much, so it must be consuming those. Deep sandbed there, possibly assisting, couldn't say for sure whether that is. All I know is nitrates are very low. Protein skim has just been cleaned out, so that's you know, not much to see, but it's running really nicely. This is the main return pipes. I know it's a bit dark here, but I removed the filter socks, and I've had them off for about 10 days, and I think I'm going to keep the filter socks off. They're just a pain. I mean, I have got another sponge in another area, but I just have to change them every day. You can see at the back there that is actually dosing calcium right now. So, because 2 litres of water per something like 4 teaspoons a week. So it's and 10 times a day I'm doing that. So it's really slow and progressive calcium dosing. And you've noticed in just the past few days, like this coralline, real brand new picked coralline on my magnet there. So I'm really sure that the calcium is you know, helping that grow. So I'm happy with that. You can see here, sandbed's looking great. My long tentacle plate coal is grown a lot since I bought it. It's looking lovely. Really, you know, nice extension on that. Very happy with it. Again, Maxima clam, really opening up nicely, looking really good. Loving it, loving it, and really generally the majority of the corals weren't that badly affected by what happened. There is a few, but everything's doing really nice. This lobophilia I just put on the rock there because I didn't want, when I had all the algae in the sandbed, I didn't want that creeping onto it and giving that some grief, so I've left it up there on the rock for the time being. Seems okay, seems like it's doing fine. Monty, this red Monty is doing mint, awesome, great. It's just like, I didn't even get a chance to glue it before it just started encrusting all over these rocks, and you can't move it now, it's just proper wedged in. It's got a nice hump growing on the back. If you look around the side, there's another plate coming out of the other side of it, so that's just doing great, really happy with that. Duncan started off, if you see on the earlier videos, with 3 heads. Now that's coming out with like 12, I think 12, 13 heads on it. So that's doing really nicely. Wasn't really affected by any of the problems in the tank. And the one behind it, that's never changed. So these mushrooms, people said that these will just go, you know, wild in your tank and will grow everywhere, and you know, you won't keep control of them. Well, that has not been the case so far. They're just confined to this rock, and okay, they come out and they expand, but they're not really multiplying. This elephant coral has always done well, really. I mean, I can't tell because I've not been looking at the from the past of the growth. I think it's got a bit thicker on the right and turned up a bit, but you know, I think it's doing well, that elephant coral, no problems there. Here's the algae I was talking about. Now, it really is in the high flow areas of the tank, so none of the cleanup crew will go up there because they just get blown away to eat it. So I'm probably going to have to manually remove that, which is not, well, it is a bit of a pain because I don't really like manually getting into the tank as much as I can avoid it, but sometimes I guess you have to. It's not growing, so that's a good thing. This leather toadstool is huge. I mean, just a little note, that little fish, he said it's got an eye problem. Don't know what's happened, he's going to might lose that eye, but yeah, this leather coral's grown massively, it's looking great. The elegance coral is, since the anemone died, one of the clownfish, Juliet, she's hosting that. It's doing good. It's not really grown much, but it's I should feed it a bit more actually. But this star polyps, I think it is not really done much change since when I bought it, but it's nice. I did actually go ahead and get another power head. I got a couple of power heads just to basically help with a bit of flow and to kind of clean up the sand bed. I thought, you know, if I get a bit more flow going, I'm not sure if I'll keep them, but it's definitely helping this gorgonian. This is so much more extended, all the polyps now that flows all over it, because they do like really high flow. Bubble corals, not particularly, can't tell if it's grown, to be honest, but it's not doing bad anyway. It's doing well, but I don't know how much growth. This thing on the right here, don't know what it is. Let me know if you know. It's kind of just sprouted up. It contracts at night, so it is a coral of some sort, you know, or an anemone. I don't know, but it's kind of come out of nowhere next to this feather duster. Interested to know what that is. All my SPSs are doing great. You can see there's a little bit of green hair algae in that. I'm probably going to have to manually remove, but this one is growing huge, great tips, and the colours just don't come out on this camera at all. Really nice blue tips on that. Decided to move this red and zoa next to this other one. Going to make a little, going to get a few more around here, make a little zoa area. You can see I ripped it. This is where I ripped that other one off the rocks. It really was all over it, so I'm going to leave that you know, that there and just see how that does. Yeah, just to show you the rocks now, like, looking so much better without all this brown algae rubbish on it. Nice purple and green coralline all over them. This pulsing xenia, people tell me this would just go like mad in my tank, and it hasn't done. It's not really one of my favourite corals. It's kind of sat there in the side. This is the green algae I was telling you about, which the flow is so high that no cleanup crew really get up there, so I'm probably going to have to remove that myself. But yeah, generally, I mean, all these SPSs are doing pretty nice. There is a little bit of browning out on some of them, but they're coming back a bit now. But the colours are really on. You can't see it on this camera compared to in real life. It looks so much nicer. This Hystrix is not doing great. It's got little black tips on the ends of some of the tips. So basically, not doing perfect, but it's not that bad. This trumpet coral, I think the Americans call it candy cane coral, hasn't really done much since I bought it. Not sure how it grows, but it's not doing too bad either. You can see my blue starfish here grabbing my Duncan, grabbing my hammer coral, which is basically never done great in this tank. I don't know whether it's the type of species that it is or something, but it's never really extended nicely and grown, so I've never really glued it because of that. Again, the camera just doesn't show the colour of this green Monty Pori, which just looks really nice, and it's doing well, this Monty. But yeah, you can't really see the colours, but it's a lovely, I love this coral. Now moving on to some of the disasters that after this spike happened, these birds' nests, this one and the other one, this one started to bleach out in areas, loads of algae on it. You can see on the stem it's got a lot of green algae on it, and not doing good at all. It's a major casualty. But same with this one, it's good on one side, rubbish in the middle, full of algae, and then kind of slightly bleached on the other side. So I am going to leave them in and possibly get a bit more flow on them and just see if they'll come back, because this one here actually is coming back after a complete, it was left, I don't know if you remember, it was left on its upside down for a week, and when I pulled it back it was just, it was almost dead, and now it is greening up and there's purple spots coming on it again, so shows that corals can come back. So I'm pretty happy. But you know, overall I am just so in love with this tank again, because it's amazing how depressed you get when you know algae starts covering things and things start going wrong. You're kind of like, oh no. And now that it's like coming back, it's just you know, I'm in love with it again, and it's looking beautiful. I got, you know, even though I've got lots of fish, people say it's overstocked. It's like, you know, the nitrates are back down to 0.5 ppm, phosphate's down to 0.03 ppm and below. So that, you know, it's clearly managing this amount of fish, and having this amount of fish looks beautiful and it's great to watch. I could start restocking now with more corals. I'm thinking of even doing a new aquascape, which could take a whole weekend, because there's a lot of wasted light in the center of the tank, so I might build the island up more centrally so you don't see through the tank as much into the other room, and there is two sides to it, so that could be a nice weekend project that I'm looking forward to. But yeah, I'm loving it. Tank's looking great again. Really happy. So glad I got into this hobby. Give me a thumbs up if you want to see more videos. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys and girls.